Good morning, dear parents. This is Mayuri here. Hope you all are doing well. Today we meet again. I will be doing a very interesting, very easy topic that we often do at school called a picture talk. So, like the name suggests, the picture talk is nothing but taking a picture that's bold, that's colorful, that's clear, and that has a lot of scope for discussion. And merely talking about it, merely discussing and having an interactive session with your little ones. I understand that all of us are at home, so our resources are probably limited, but I'm sure you have books for children. Apart from that, you will have newspapers, magazines, and in all likelihood old newspapers, if not, obviously not the current ones. And that's what I'm going to use today to tell you how you can go about it in a very simple manner, which I'm already sure you all are doing at various levels. The first book that I take today is a child friendly book. It's a beautiful, illustrative book. It is Nani's Walk to the Park. So it's a story book about Nani, who is going to buy something. She's going to the park, but she passes through these various localities, and as they go, the pictures kind of evolve and they get better and better. And so the entire book is full of very colorful, very vivid illustrations with a lot happening. I'm not getting into the entire book because my objective today is to show you how exactly to go about doing a picture talk. So we will just do the outer, the cover of the book, and I will also take some examples from common what you see day to day at home. So to begin with, Nani's Walk to the Park. So you can start off by telling the children, uh, you ask questions. A picture talk is where you ask questions, you lead, and they will follow. Okay. What all do we see over here? We can see, okay, the book is called Nani's Walk to the Park. So can we spot Nani? Who's Nani? Is Nani somebody who's old? Is Nani somebody who's young? Yes, you're right. Here is Nani. And what is Nani wearing? Is Nani wearing a salwar kurta? Is Nani wearing a skirt? Or is Nani wearing a sari probably? Yeah, and she's carrying a bag. What color is the bag? Okay, now who else do we see over here? Can we see somebody walking behind her? Ah, that's a little boy. That's probably Nani's grandson. And who is this? Somebody walking behind him as well. And that's a little cat. What does the cat say? Meow. So we can discuss what's actually there. You can discuss the people. So, okay, what kind of people do you see? You see an uncle. You see a vendor. He's probably selling something that looks maybe like flowers. You see an old lady sitting under a tree. She's got a basket full of probably some fruits. What could they be? They're yellow in color, and maybe they are musk melons, or they could be musambis or sweet lime. Can you spot some trees over here in this photograph? You can see, well, this looks like a coconut tree to me, right? These look like coconut trees. This looks like the mayflower tree, or what we call the rain tree. So we can see different kinds of trees. What else do we see here? Do we see any vehicles? Not really. We probably see a cart on which he's selling something. It looks like flowers to me. Does it look like something else to you? Okay. What colors do we see here? Can we see red? Can we spot how many people are wearing red color? All right. Nani is carrying a red bag. The lady with the muskmelon is wearing a beautiful red sari and she's wearing a big red bindi. This auntie here is wearing a red kurta. The little boy up here in this window is wearing a red t-shirt. We see an uncle over here who's wearing a red checks shirt, probably. We see another auntie carrying a red bag and wearing a red bindi. We see an uncle wearing a red lungi. And we see a little girl with red. So what you do here is you pick on one color and you spot, you get them to spot. So colors are very important in a picture talk. You talk about the different colors, pick one color at a time. There are two ways to do this when you're doing a color. One is where you are having the child spot something in a color that you mention, and so you can choose one color at a time. So how many reds, how many blues, how many greens, and then where you tell the child, with the child takes the lead and you tell the child, okay, what all colors do you spot? So you literally throw the ball in their court and have them discuss it with you. So that's exactly what we do. So colors, shape, also probably textures. So how do we do textures when you cannot literally feel it? So you just take a wild guess and you say, okay, because children are now exposed to the world around them. So you talk about, okay, the tree. How do you think the coconut tree leaves are going to be? Are they going to be soft? Are they going to be a little rough? What do you think about Nani's sari? Nani's sari looks very pretty. It's got a lot of prints on it, a lot of flower prints on it. So what do you think? Is it going to be a soft sari? Is it going to be a smooth sari? I can see some grass. How do you think the grass is? The grass blades, the blades of grass, are they soft to touch? So there you go, the textures, and then you talk about objects. You can pick out if you are focusing on probably numbers. So every time you pick up a picture talk, you can pick up one element, one aspect. So if you're talking about numbers, you can, you can talk about number of people having something red on them. You can talk about the number of people standing at the window. The number of people probably walking on the road, the number of vendors on the road. Then you can talk about actions. What do you see people doing? So always remember that pictures, although they are still over here, there's a lot happening. They're very, very busy. So here is a sample of a storybook meant for a child, which has obviously child child appropriate images. They are made for the children, so it's all catered towards that target audience solely. However, some of us may be stuck at a home without a children's book. It could happen. You're probably at Nani's house or a place which doesn't have so many children's books. So then you pick up the things that are around the house. Now every house will have some sort of magazine, some old newspapers. So we just pick up. It could even be a recipe book. But I'll just quickly, so I rummaged through my house and I came across this interior designing magazine. And as adults, I think we enjoy watching and looking and browsing through the interior design magazine. But I'm doing a quick one. So what you need to do first is just pick it up. Just browse through the entire book and see what is it that you think you can have a conversation on. What is it that you're comfortable talking about? So I opened up a page which has, okay, what do we see here? We see different kinds of chairs and we see a little boy. Maybe the little boy is wondering which chair to sit on. Remember Goldilocks? She wondered which chair. She tried out different kinds of chairs. So can we see what all chairs we have? Wow, we have a blue chair, like a turquoise blue chair with a light wooden what do you call base. We have a chair with a purple cushion, a chair with a red cushion, a chair with a yellow upholstery as well. Now, where do you think this boy is going to sit? Which chair is he going to sit on? Is he going to sit on the red chair? Okay. So you need to now kind of build. You need to go along with them. You need to ask questions. So you lead. So if your child says, "Okay, I think that boy is going to sit on the red one," so you say, "Why?" So your child is going to give you some sort of a response and say, "Okay, do you think that chair is soft? Do you think the cushion is soft? Do you think it is soft to touch? Is it smooth, or does it have some pattern on it, like the one our pillow at home, our cushion at home?" So you make associations with things that are around. So even though your child cannot feel the texture here, you get them to imagine. So what are you doing here? You're honing their imagination also. You're telling them to relate to this based on what they have experienced. After that, you can ask them, "Okay, if you were in his place, which chair would you sit and why? How would it feel?" So on and so forth. So apart from this, you can also browse through other things in the book itself. Look for pictures which have a little scope to talk. So you have over here, okay, what all does this room have? I can see a musical instrument in this room. Can you see a musical instrument? So you give them clues to spot something and have them spot it. So that's with an interior designing magazine. I also pulled out a basic newspaper. Of course, a lot of our newspapers, even the ones for the last few weeks, have been pretty depressive. They've been, it's normally people with a mask. That may be the reality, but you need to pick out other things that they can also talk about. So, for instance, I feel sports gives us a lot of scope to discuss, to have a picture talk. So, just open like a sports page of the this and discuss. Okay, what do you see here? What sport do you think they are playing? Okay, is it cricket? What is this uncle doing over here? Is he bowling, or is he catching the ball? So you discuss every single bit. What color is his attire? So what is he wearing? He's wearing black pants, he's wearing a yellow t-shirt, a jersey with some number on it. Can you guess what number it could be? They probably don't know numbers as yet, so that's okay, you can leave out that part. But children like to do the guessing bit, so it's fine to just play along. Okay, what else? Now, maybe you've played a game of cricket with your child, and they know that these are the stumps. Okay, they know that the batsman is having a bat, and that is a referee or an umpire. Okay, so you pick up a sport. You can pick up any page. Another one that I found interesting in the newspaper. This, of course, is an old newspaper. Is this? Okay, what do we see here? I can see an animal in this page. Can you see an animal in this page? That's a horse. And what do you think that man and the horse is doing? Do you think he takes the horse every day to work? What do you think this horse, what color is this horse? Should we give the horse a name? What else do you see on the road? What kind of a road is the horse walking on? It looks like a concrete road. I can see a manhole over here which is covered. I can see trees. It reminds me of a place we've probably been to, right? Can you guess what place it is? So you make assumptions, you make them discuss. So you need to pick out images which are telling, which have a lot of color, a lot of texture, a lot of shapes. When you look at animals, then the next level is you talk about how they look, what color they are. First of all, what animal it is, what color they are. What sound, what are they doing in that place, what sound do they make, what do you think they eat, where do you think they are going, and things like that. So you have a multitude of questions to ask your children. So for those whom I told you about food. I don't have a recipe book which has a lot of pictures, so I didn't pick out one. But I just happened to browse through the newspaper and I found this one. So you say, okay, what do you see here? Do you think it's something to eat? What does this look like? So they'll say, Mama, when you make pav bhaji, or Daddy, when you get vada pav, or when we go out in our school, when we go out in the neighborhood, we can see something like this. So you discuss what's on the plate. So okay, what else can we see? What do you think they're going to eat this with? They'll say a spoon, maybe, because they can see the spoons out there. What do you think it's made of? So think of vegetables. Now, obviously, by now children already know the different vegetables that there are, so you can kind of take a wild guess, see what's in it. So apart from talking what is factual, what is in the picture, you can go a notch higher, you can go a step further, you can talk about what they think is in it. So you first start off, when we teach, we always say going from the known to the unknown. So in this case, with picture talk, you can first start off with what is actually seen to the child. So whether it's the colors, I'm repeating myself, I know, but I'm just doing this so that you get a hang of this. So the colors, the shapes, the textures, then what it is, what the object is, what the function of the object is, if it's an object, if there are people, what kind of people are they, describe them completely, describe the clothes that they wear, describe how they look. So they have long hair, short hair, white hair, black hair. So you mentally make a checklist of what all you would like to talk about, all of these things that I mentioned, and then you go along. It's also very nice in a picture talk to have them lead the conversation as well. Sometimes you will find that children can go a little off topic. If you feel they're going far away, you pull them back, look at the picture, and get them to talk about that again. Sometimes you can allow them to do that because you're actually helping them imagine. You're helping them make associations with their past learning, which I think is extremely important. Given the current scenario, you're in the house, so at least for the last 1 week and going further, they're going to have exposure to only things that are around the house. So you need to always make associations with things that they have been associated with, whether it's going to a park and what they saw there, or they went for somebody's birthday party, what is it that they ate there, what gift that, or what decoration. So make associations. You need to create hooks so that they can constantly remember, they can recall, and they can use their imagination. So picture talk, I feel, are a very, very effective way of making the imagination grow, of making it fertile. Because remember, the children have very, very fertile imagination, but it's up to us to ensure that it's used to its best potential. And talking, conversing, especially, I feel at any point talking and conversing is extremely, extremely important. More so now, because sometimes even for children, to be homebound, to be, they must wonder what's happening around, right? So it gives you a good opportunity to talk about. When you show pictures, you make associations, you're talking about the time that you've spent out, probably at a restaurant, maybe an outing that you've had, and to make them know, to tell them it's fine, everything's going to be back to normal soon, and at the same time you're having fun, and without knowing, there's a lot of learning happening here. You're reinforcing their vocabulary, which is extremely important. The vocabulary increases at an alarming rate right now, and the more you converse, the more you talk, it's just going to expand. And sometimes around the house, there may not be a lot of scope to talk about other things. So, a picture talk does that. It allows you to talk about things that are not there in that moment right now. It's in a picture, it's somewhere out there, and that is what you're discussing. So, it'll be great if you try out the picture talk with anything that you have at home which you know is age appropriate and the content is basically suitable for your child. And share with us what you've done. You can take photographs of you all doing a picture talk together. Picture talk can be done any time of the day. You can choose it as a night activity to wind down, probably before sleeping. If you take a book, you can do that as well. So we look forward to hearing from you. Stay safe and have fun with your little ones as you explore various ways of teaching, innovative teaching while you're just sitting at home. Yeah. See you soon. Bye. Take care.